setting the defaults within your organization for the patient surveys. From this company detail screen, you're going to click on the link at the top of the page for patient survey, which is going to open up your patient survey screen. And what you're looking at in this particular example is the base default that is established with all new practices. You will notice that there are sections where you can activate or deactivate components at the top of the screen. I might suggest that before you make decisions about activating any of these sections at the top of your screen, that you take just a moment to go to your navigation bar and click on the PI Resource Center. When you click on the Resource Center, that is going to take you to our website, to the resource page, which has a lot of handy training videos and information, reference data for you. But included in this section is a handout on optional surveys. And if you click on Read More, that is going to open up the optional survey screen for you. Do keep in mind that any of the optional surveys that are available to you in PI Web are only available if you are capturing your patient surveys electronically. They are not all available on paper. The only exception to that would be the PQRS measures for 131, which is pain assessment prior to the initiation of treatment, and PQRS measure 154, which is the fall risk assessment. Those surveys are available on paper. But as you scroll down this list, you will be able to see a description of all of the optional surveys that are available in an electronic survey. In many cases, it is going to give you all of the questions that are included in that particular survey along with the scoring methodology. So I would like to encourage you to review these questions and the kind of data that you will capture if you access these surveys in your patient setup screen. Once you have reviewed those, you can simply hit your back button, which will return you immediately to your patient survey section. The available optional surveys that I've indicated that were on that resource handout are listed for you in the available category. So let's say, for example, that you have made a determination that you want to capture the patient history and the pain module. So what you can do to move those two optional surveys into your pre-selected box is to simply double-click on the name of the optional survey, and it will move it to pre-selected. And we're going to do that for both pain and the patient history. Now, you will notice back up at the top of the screen that there is the descriptor for a short history. So if you have selected the full patient history, here again after reviewing it from those optional surveys, from that resource handout, you may make a decision that perhaps you don't want to include the entire patient history, but you want the abbreviated version of such. So if you selected the patient history in the pre-select setup in your patient surveys, you can simply go in and click on the box to indicate that you want only the short history to populate your survey. The pain module, if you so desire to include that as well. Down at the bottom of this screen, there is a section for the components of the pain module that you want to activate in your software with your patient surveys. And these components are the intensity, constancy, the McGill, activities that increase pain, activities that reduce pain, pain at night, and the entire body diagram. If you decide, for example, that you only want to collect intensity and constancy and you don't want the rest of the information, you can simply click on those subcomponents and it will remove the check mark, and that is what will be saved as your default. There are a lot of optional surveys here that are available to you. If you want to turn off any of these optional surveys so that they cannot be pre-selected on a patient-by-patient basis. You can simply click on the name of the report and move it over into the disabled section, and that will totally remove the staff's ability to capture those surveys in your patient reports. Once you have completed this screen with all of the standard surveys that you want to capture in all of your patient surveys, you're simply going to hit the Update Configuration button, which is going to save all of those changes so that as you enter the data entry module to begin your data collection, all of those parameters will be preset. This concludes the patient survey setup section.